What's up? What's up? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir,
Hello.
brother.
All
Yes,
right.
sir,
All
brother.
right. All
Yes,
right. All
sir.
right. All
Sir,
right.
man. Rant
Getting it in.
Wednesdays. You hear what I'm playing in the background, right? You probably can't, but I got to play that Kanye West and Lil Pump instrumental just because I got the rant on this young character.
All right. Speak on it.
It's your host, Fleet Jones.
It's your boy Mo Green.
We here straight up, and this is a straight up rant. Kanye, we know he got an album coming out. He has really been in the media. Anytime he has something coming out, he's been in the media. You know, that interview with Charlemagne. I think what did he say in the past? He said something about blacks in the past or something too. But
Slavery's a
just,
choice.
yeah, slavery is a choice. And then now he's saying that the 13th Amendment should be abolished. Now, before we get into our opinions on that, he's definitely have a mental illness. This is a fact. He's came out and addressed it, and his medical records address it. But the black community, they're crucifying him. Do you agree? They coming at him hard, crucifying him.
Lie.
And
Yeah, they are. I'm not gonna lie. I'm a part of that group, but I got to hear you out on this one, Fleet. Before I lean in, go ahead. I'm listening to you.
well, now it's he go come out and clear it up. He go try to come out and clear it up. Like, hey, I get to get my facts right. I'm in a man. He probably don't even know what that shit means. But let's stick with his initial topic. He wants to abolish slavery. Uh, man, those are some strong words.
Well, you know what, Fleet? Do us all a favor so our listeners know. So, they might not be by a computer at this moment. Go
Okay.
ahead and briefly educate us on what the 13th Amendment consists of.
Okay. So first, I'm going to say what abolish. Abolish means to formally put an end to. So he wants to formally put an end to the 13th Amendment. Now, what is the 13th Amendment? What is that? Of course, it's in the United States Constitution. And what the United States Constitution is, well, let me just read it. The 13th Amendment to the United States Constitution abolish slavery and involuntary servitude, except as punishment for a crime. Except for punishment for a crime. That's just a short arm wind of it. So we know what slavery is, but
Correct, we do.
involuntary servitude or involuntary slavery is the United States legal and constitutional term for a person laboring against that person's will to benefit another under coercion other than the worker's financial needs. So, like, when you coerce something is, say you do something without, you know, them knowing. Like, hey, here's the contract, but you don't know everything else on this contract you're signing to, or you don't know the full details. It's just due to coerce. Is the practice of forcing another party to act as an involuntary manner, whether if it's through threats or force or without them even knowing. This is what they're getting into. So the 13th Amendment, that's the 13th Amendment that Kanye West wants to abolish. And we know what abolish means. So is he right? Is
You
he
know
wrong?
what?
I'll let you
That's a
talk
question. You know what? That's a question for all of us to really think about. Hold on one second.
because
That's a question for all of us to truly think on. What I will say is this: is that um, you can even say that that's still going on in our jail system, in our correctional facilities. License plates being made, cheap labor for 13 cents an hour. Um, these things are still happening now. So, as far as I want to know exactly his true intentions and what he mean by that, because Kanye West is all over the place. I really can't speak on it with good intentions because I don't know where his intentions at with making such statements like that. So I'm not
oh,
too sure. What is your thought?
I think I know what his intentions are. Whether if he can explain it to the masses, or whether if he has enough knowledge to explain it to the masses. Like, he's these it's Twitter, Instagram. You can't sit there and have a hour-long conversation with Charlemagne about the topic yet, because he's not real versed to it. But I believe that he's on to something. I believe that he's on to something. Not just, hey, my album's coming out, I need to say something. Because no matter what, people were still going to buy it, which nowadays people stream. We're still going to stream it. And it, but he's taken our energy, for one. But I believe that this statement should be an eye opener for everyone to just look into it. Because honestly, and I got to rant about this shit.
Okay, I'm gonna let you go ahead because I got something to speak on that. But go ahead, go
Well,
ahead.
I'm gonna let you speak because I may just just
No, no.
just rant off.
Okay, okay. Well, my whole thing with this, man, we as a people, you, I, everyone, have been listening to Kanye West with his rants, his blurts, and you know him just speaking out, and he's been saying some outlandish BS for a while. So for us to truly take him seriously will be it's hard. You know what I'm saying? We got to really know exactly what his whole intentions is by this. I'm tired. I'm gonna be honest with you. I kind of like blow him off, dude. I blow him off is because I don't know which direction he's coming from. He's been coming off, flying off at the mouth, saying some crazy stuff. Um, his SNL, I think he was on SNL, right? With
Hmm.
and that was a horrible performance. I ain't gonna lie, it was a horrible performance. And I will not take nothing away from Kanye West. I will say that he is a innovator of music. No
Hmm.
doubt about that. He's a
Yes,
genius when it comes
genius.
down to the music. But when it comes down to politics, limelight as far as you know the entertainment world besides music, he comes off as an idiot, man. I don't find that artistic. It's a lot of artsy, artistic individuals that are well versed in their conversation and in their meaning and in their stride and what they believe in. And
Hmm.
even with not agreeing with their statements, we can still see that that person is sound and they're strong in their beliefs. With Kanye West, I really don't know what direction he's coming from. I don't know if it's the meds, if it's the tragic grieving process about losing his mother years ago. We don't
Mhm.
know. So, from me being where I'm at, I'm just sitting back watching and seeing exactly where he's coming from on this. But that's just my thoughts on it, Fleet. But go
Well,
ahead.
he's coming from, and I'm this. This is just me. He might not be. He could just be not coming from there. But when he say that, and he went on, SNL talking about "Make America Great Again," just that symbol of that hat. That symbol of that hat is red. Red represents war, bloodshed, murder. Uh, I can't even think. It represents its
Red
for
represent
reflection of two.
love, life. It represent a lot of things,
Yeah,
man.
and, and Tuesday, Mars. Is it Mars? Yeah, yeah. Tuesday, red. Every war started on a Tuesday. Every single war, because they need that energy. So he's wearing that hat, and he's saying, "Make America great again." He's not saying make United States great again. He's saying make America great again. So he wants to abolish slavery. I mean, say 13th Amendment. He wants to abolish that, which I can agree with him to what he's trying to do, because the only thing that changed is that we're not hanging from a tree. That's the only thing that has changed. We're just not hanging from a tree anymore. And when he said that we're still slaves back in there, he was absolutely correct. And we don't even know it. There's a scripture that says that we're blind, that that the God that we rule has us blind to what's really going on. And who rules us? The system, this matrix, or whatever people want to call it. So that's your God, the system that you're in. It's
Okay,
like if
then. So I have a question then. I have a question then.
uh-huh.
With that strong statement, let's make America great again. When was it great? You see what I'm saying? These are questions that we just can't. Words are strong, and we got to really start listening and understanding and reading between the lines. I'm not talking about necessarily reaching, but what I am saying is that we got to be um, somewhat on point and paying
Mhm.
attention to what's being said, because I from our history being erased, from us going through slavery and other races as well.
But what happened before
When
that?
has but
We
when
weren't
when has
always in slavery.
no, we weren't. But I'm saying, when was America great? That's a question we got to really ask. When was America great? In what part and what time are you talking about trying to make America great again? You see what
Well,
I'm
I
saying?
can't put exact time on it, but it was great before. It was great when they say the so-called Indians were here. But you still had your wars. People were in their own territories, but you still had abundance. You still had people working together. And what happened was we had the Martin Luther Kings come in. We had them wanting to, in that segregating and integrate us into what they had, what we seen on TV. Oh, they got a fancy car. Oh, I want that. Or this Ford. Well, we was doing fine. We had our Black Wall Street, and that Black Wall Street wasn't the only thing that we had. We had a bunch of different networks. We still own land because my grandfather owned land. Still to this day, we were landowners. And back then, only landowners could vote. In North Carolina, this is what I want to also get into. I believe if it's 13th, 14th, and 15th Amendment were not properly ratified, first and foremost. First and foremost. So people want to say, yeah, it did, but in North Carolina, the people, most of the people you've seen hanging in those pictures and videos were politicians because they didn't want them to come and vote. They did not want them to come and vote. So it wasn't just no ordinary person just hanging. I want to go into, and I hope everybody can follow me. Just Google the Articles of Confederation, 1777. And this is when you said, make America great again. Article 1. I'll give you some time, everybody, but I'm going to probably just read 2 articles. And you're saying, when was it great? The second article is going to expound on that. So
Okay.
Article 1 and the Articles of Confederation. The style of this confederacy shall be the United States of America. That right there alone opens up a bunch of things. But let me just read the second one. Each state retains its sovereignty. That answers your other question. When was America great? America was great when it was that republic. R-E, public, people. When it was the people. When it was sovereignty, when we had our sovereignty. That's when it was great. Freedom and independence and every power, jurisdiction, and right, which is not by this confederation, expressly delegates to who? United States.
Okay, I got a question for you, Fleet. Real
Hmm.
quick, I got a question for you. We weren't even here around that time, though.
We weren't? Okay. Then who were here?
Who was here? The Indians were here. The Anglo Saxons were here. As
Okay.
far as us, you, when was this? We're talking what 1787?
We can go to the 1300s.
Right. We
Don't
weren't
forget.
we weren't in America, bro. We were all the way in Africa. We was in our home, the motherland. They didn't bring us over here until when? Until
Now you
when?
considerably. Now, do you really think? Well, here's where are the ships that they brought us in, and if they did bring us, they cannot fit the amount of people here that are here on those ships. Did they bring something? Yeah, they probably about maybe 50, 60. I even just say 100,000, but probably only
Mm,
75,000 survived. 50,000 survived.
yeah.
So who was
And
already here? Now, if you saying Indians, don't forget, white people name what they see, and they thought that they were in India. And those people in
right,
India, what did they look
right,
like?
right.
Very
It was
dark.
the Indians. Right, right, right. No,
Right.
no. On that note, you're absolutely right, man. But the thing is, I hear what you're saying, and we going on history, but my whole thing was is bringing it back to the point with Kanye West as far as let's make America great again. Now, are you talking about? That's what I'm saying. We honestly, man, this is such a verse conversation. This conversation is so vague. It's not to the point. Is because I really want to understand what Trump mean. Do he mean where make America great again? In what time? Were you talking about in the time where we were in captivity, where we when we were owned as product to the Anglo Saxons? What do you mean by that? And that's never been really clear. You know what I'm saying? That hasn't been clear. It's not clear to me when he's talking about that. And if
Of
so, I want to know when is he talking about? When? Because I can't recall when America was great again. When it was great.
well, from what I'm seeing, what he's trying to do is bring the jobs back here. It was a lot of work for a lot of people. Everybody had a job. Black, white, everybody had one. So
I
that's one
agree.
thing.
I
And
agree with that.
just the things that he's passing. We hear the dumb shit. Yeah, grab pussies, fuck Mexicans, let's build a wall, all this other shit. But this man passed a bill um, that we can use our religion, even though we can use our religion now, but it's a lot powerful and it's a lot stronger from the bill that he passed. He passed a bill, this man, so you can crap up your Bible, whatever book you use, say, no, nah, this says I can't do that. And you can just use that. This book saying ain't supposed to pay taxes. You can use that. You can use that. Because they wasn't really paying taxation like that back then. Who you paying it to?
That's the question.
So
That's the question.
so now when he's saying we're still slaves, it's people taking 33% of your check every 2 weeks or every week that ain't did shit for it. The hell they do for it? Oh wait, I know what they did. You're a citizen. You're a citizen. You're a you're a minor, as they call it, and we're your daddy because you're the minor. So for all the services you got to pay taxation for, and we'll take care of you when you're old. You don't have to worry about a thing.
That's a
You,
joke.
you need food stamps. I mean, now, yeah, they're taking that out, but
Yeah.
you need food
Yeah.
stamps. You need a link card. We got that too for you. Medicare,
Yeah.
Medicaid, we got you.
Yeah. That's all a trap though, bro.
We
You know,
got you.
and yeah, we could talk about that forever. That's all a trap. And we see where
We
that's
got you.
systematically made to destroy and to obliterate
Section 8,
the black race.
we
Period.
got you.
Yeah. Yeah, forget that.
We
Forget
got
it.
you. So the United States Constitution, not the United States of America Constitution, but anyway, there's state constitutions too. But if you go to the supremacy clause, like this is 1777. I was gonna bring up an older confederation that the so-called Indians or blacks gave to the who they call the founding fathers or whoever. I'm not going to get into that. But everything is copied. And it's copied from what? It's copied from something. And who created it? People that are already here. We
Mhm.
taught that system of politics. Then we forget.
Wow.
Then now they have it and they're ruling. There's certain treaties that you got to abide by. Resolution 75, Treaty of Morocco, all these treaties that most of us don't even know anything about. And it's not, oh no, I want to be a moral Israelite. No, these things are for a reason. If you look at any other country, they don't have states. These are countries. Every so-called state that you think that you're in is really a country, just like everywhere else. Everywhere else is a country.
So Fleet, I want to
There's
ask
no
you something.
states.
So
Uh-huh.
I want to ask you something then.
Hmm.
Since the beginning of time, since biblical time,
Hmm.
borders were made for a reason. You
Oh
see what I'm
yes,
saying? Like,
yes.
and, and I'm with everyone. I'm with the human race. Believe that. But I am for my people as other people are for theirs. But
Hmm.
these borders were made for a reason. We have different beliefs. We have different morals. We have just a different way of life. Every race of people have that. And I think we kind of, not us, but I think America, one, we all know America is greedy, is capitalistic.
Hmm.
And I believe that when America, the government, when they how can I say, when they go ahead and in they insert themselves into people's to other borders, fighting other
Hmm.
people's wars, dealing with other people's religion.
But you trust your people that's doing that stuff. You just said you trust your people now.
You said I trust my people.
Yeah, you said you trust your people,
I
but these
trust
are the
my
choices
people.
that they make.
Right, right. But I'm also to the what I'm trying to get to. My whole point is that the government in America has messed up. That's why we have borders. That's why we have different other cultures have different rules and morals and regulations and stuff. And I believe that when America decides to insert themselves into different people's cultures, when they
Hmm.
cross borders, when they just interrupt other people's cultures, it causes wars, bro. It causes wars. I mean, I don't recall anything written where my people, when they were my ancestors, when they were slaves, they needed a birth certificate. I mean, a marriage certificate to get married.
Nope.
You know what I'm
Common
saying?
law.
Right.
Common law still exists.
But these are our people, though. That's what I'm saying. When America inserts themselves into different people's culture and their livelihood and crosses borders and interrupt other people's lives, it causes a effect. There's an effect that comes with that. With
Hmm.
anything, there's an effect, and that effect, as you can see, has even caused us some wars.
Hmm.
So
Was it was it Zulu? Was it Shaka Zulu that wouldn't let white people be in his tribe? He killed them all because man,
yeah,
he said they was gonna taint him. Like, nah, we don't
yeah,
need that. He said,
yeah,
nah, we good. I don't want to be
yeah.
around you.
But you got to understand our culture, other people's culture, fighting. I don't care what excuses they used for the Iraq War and stuff. It was
Hmm.
for capital gain.
Hmm.
You know how many people of our people, and I mean black, Mexican, Latin, Chinese, our people, a lot of our people went over there. It was fighting a war over some BS. And that's what I'm
Hmm.
saying. Like we just got to start understanding. We got to start being a little bit more knowledgeable about the laws because these laws ain't made for us. These laws are
Nope.
not built for us. These laws are built and to protect them. And I will say that loudly, them,
Well, let's not
Anglo
use law.
Saxon.
These are codes.
Yeah,
These are codes and
yeah,
regulations. They ain't laws. They're
yeah.
codes and
Codes.
policies,
Yeah,
and
absolutely. You're right.
yeah,
You're right.
they're not treaties. They're not laws. Because if you like, let me read the supremacy clause. Now, I mentioned something from 1777. There's things that go earlier than that, but supremacy clause. This is, I just read it. It established that the federal constitution and federal laws generally take precedence over state laws in every state constitution. So this means that anything you can use, you can use anything, no matter what the date is still in effect. It's still in effect. So, with that said, we're gonna let you all be the judge of whether Kanye is onto something or he's that medically ill. It kind of reminds me, don't you know? Well, we got trains. We got trains. We got
Right.
trains. And have you heard the crazy guy spitting knowledge? And like,
Hmm.
oh yeah, man, you right, man, you right. You know what I'm saying? It be the crazy one that be spitting it. Or who we think is so called crazy. That be telling the truth, spitting old knowledge and game and wisdom.
I agree. I agree. But you know what? It's crazy that you bring that up, is because it be that same old man that was speaking gibberish for so long, where
Hmm.
his rant or his words fell on deaf ears due to his actions of history. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Of his history, his actions. He pulled the Chicken Little for so long. The sky
Hmm.
is falling. The sky is falling, and nobody want to believe it. So yeah, we'll see. We want to hear
Yeah,
from y'all. We want to hear exactly what you guys think. Like my man Fleet was
yeah,
saying.
yeah, man. I'm done ranting on Kanye. What about what's the girl, the feminist girl that's on Insecure? Is it Amanda
Seal.
Seals?
Yeah.
Amanda
Yeah.
Seals.
Amanda
Now
Seals, man.
she's a known feminist. And yeah, so she was ranting, and let me just read what she said. Um, she says, "Hold up, white women are kneeling to protest rape culture?" Question mark. I'm just gonna leave it at that. Just that alone. And then she goes on. Let me continue. No, where the fuck was y'all at when was kneeling about police brutality? Where the fuck was y'all at when Cap was getting his ass handed to him because he was kneeling about police brutality?
Whoa.
So, so now she's a known feminist, been on it, and she came out and made that statement. Is she? Well, I ain't gonna say is she, but is she from her position? Should she just be kneeling too?
Honestly, I believe that feminism, that's a whole nother subject.
I
I'm
don't agree.
against that.
Man,
I'm
yeah,
against that.
we gonna talk about that too.
Yeah. I'm against
Let's
that.
talk
But
about
I
that
don't.
now. Fuck that.
You want to talk
Fuck
about
that.
that now?
Man, we
Because
about to
I
talk
want to
about
get to.
this now.
I really want to get to her her statement. I
Because I don't
feel
like
what
her,
she's
her
saying.
personal insecurity either anyway. So, but when she said it,
Me
I'm
neither.
like, oh, boy.
But I hear what she was saying though.
Yeah.
Where the f were y'all at? You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? Where were y'all at? See, I really believe that she is speaking that real ish. You know,
Hmm.
um, hey, it doesn't really affect you, and when it affects you, then that's when you want to go all in. When it affects us, you really don't give a damn. You know what I'm saying? So
Hmm.
I feel what she's saying on that, but that whole feminism, I nay that one. You know what I'm saying? That's just real talk. That's from Mo. Hey, call me what you want, male chauvinist. I'll take that. I'll take that. But definitely, I'm against all that feminism talk. That mess is crazy, man. It's
Hmm.
ridiculous. It goes against everything that is completely natural. You know what I'm saying? I
Yeah.
don't believe it.
Yeah. For one, a black feminist though?
Yeah,
That's my thing.
that's what I'm.
How can
Man,
you
I'm
be
with you. I'm with you on that.
black And that has nothing to do with you. It has never had anything to do with you. Just it, just because there's a large population, or I'm just going to just throw it over. It's I I, I googled a certain number. I'm not going to say that number because it may be correct, but the source was probably kind of off. But over 70% of the feminists are lesbian. So with that being said, a black feminine, just even the point that lesbian, even that term back in Greece, island of Lesbos. Heard about that island?
No, I haven't. I'm not, privy to that. I haven't heard about
Yeah.
that, but
Well,
speak on it.
it's an island out in Greece. And the history of that, those Roman men
Okay,
kicked
what
their
were?
women off the island
Oh,
and just
okay.
kept the boys. They only used the women and they kicked them off the island
No, I didn't
because
hear
they was
about this one.
homosexuals. That's why Cupid
Nah.
was a little boy. They used to fondle. That's where their culture comes from. All the Catholic priests, they was fondling little boys, and they used to kick the women off to the island of Lesbos. That's where you get lesbian
Wow.
from. An island full of women. That's where the Wonder Woman story is. An island full of women. That's where that story pretty much came from.
Amazon. So pretty much the Amazon
Yeah.
women.
So that's where that came from. But they are just the whole thing. I just don't agree with a black feminist. But she's speaking out, and I think she has a white husband.
See, that's
So
crazy.
I'm
I'm gonna say
kind of
that's crazy. I'm gonna just say this, man. I don't mean to cut you off, Fleet, but I gotta say this, man. With feminism, with feminist, not feminism, but feminists, understand back in the days, like slavery. I mean,
hmm
slavery was abolished then, but there was a group of women. Okay,
hmm
they there were no black feminists. They were all white
yep,
Anglo-Saxon women, and they pushed for abortion.
hmm
They pushed for abortion, and they pushed for it. It wasn't for the colored women. It was only for the Anglo-Saxon woman and the rights for the Anglo-Saxon woman. So when I see a black feminist, that is so
hmm
contradicting. It's
so
contradicting. It makes no sense. You're talking about
so
sunny, rainy days. What are you talking about? It's very contradictive, man. And like I say, that feminist. I'm totally against feminism.
uh-huh.
Period. It makes no sense.
So, but I think man, I really want to touch on certain things about this too, but I do. I think because I don't know. It's not confirmed. I think she is with a Caucasian or somebody, but at least she tried to come out and say something while having, you know, if I believe to be, a white spouse, because Serena Williams didn't say anything at all. She alluded to it and she made it a female problem when she had a little tennis match and lost and broke her racket and everything, and the ref just kept, pretty much cost her the game. Well, she was getting ass whooped anyway. I ain't gonna say cost her the game, but made it challenging for her. But she made it a women thing instead of a black thing. She made it a women thing because she was with a white man. And I just couldn't get with that aspect of it. But she is saying, hey, Kaepernick did it. Y'all wasn't on nothing. Let's, let's not be on nothing now.
And I will say this though, with Amanda Seals, I can respect her voice.
Hmm.
in some aspects, not all. I mean, I'm gonna be honest, man. That shit that was just being loud and saying what the fuck you want to say, excuse my French, when she was younger was a little bit more accepted. We got used to the Amanda Diva. You know what I'm saying? But with
Hmm.
her growing, um, I've seen where she's kind of I've seen growth in her. So I mean, a lot of the stuff. I mean, I'm glad. Point being, I'm glad she spoke up on it, and a lot of the stuff that she do say has some kind of. I believe we could take from it. Some of it we could take from it, but yeah, that whole feminist thing, man. I'm just that shit rubbed me the wrong way. It
Yeah.
rubbed me the wrong way, bro. I'm just being honest, man. Because that mess is a joke to me, man. That lights a fire under my ass. Excuse my French. I know we trying to keep it clean on here, but man, that feminism and that feminist crap is a crock. It's all crock, man. And I'm tired of it, man. It's been used like a sexual gender card. You know,
Hmm.
it's almost an excuse to want to take control. You know what I'm saying? What do you
Yeah.
feel? And I don't mean to get off topic, but what do you feel about feminists? Like, what do you feel about that? I want to know what's your thoughts on that.
I mean, the feminist perspective, they supposed to be fighting for rights or certain things, but understand, yeah, the rape thing, yeah, should nobody be, raped or anything like that. But what else? You know, what? That's just like a gang to me, a gang of women.
Okay, then.
You
Look,
know, I feel
you
that they can
touch.
get
Okay,
more
go ahead.
done as a group as a whole. Well, it's kind of difficult because if you're getting raped, men are usually raping you, but there's women out there that rape women.
But
Is
this
that
is.
considered?
I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying. But that whole feminist thing, it seems like it's a because I'm a woman, I should be immune to everything else. Like, for example, right? Let's talk about the Me Too. Let's talk about the
Mm-hmm.
Me Too movement. Let's talk about that.
Yep.
In no way, shape, or form do I condone anybody raping anybody. I
Mm-mm.
don't condone males raping females. I don't condone females raping males, because it do happen.
Mm-hmm.
But I believe that this has been brought up to like scorn men in a way. And this is why I bring that up. When a man is accused of rape,
Mm-hmm.
immediately he loses everything. It might not even be true.
Yep.
We seen it happen to the young football star that was supposed to go off to the NFL. I forgot his name. The
Oh
little
yeah.
Anglo-Saxon girl said that he was raped, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he was supposed to go off to the NFL. He lost that
Yep.
opportunity. He went to jail. Did
Lost that
anything
opportunity.
right? Did anything happen to her? No.
Nothing. They
There's
get just
times,
scot free.
right? But
That's happened
with
to me. I've been
see,
accused
see, see,
before,
see, and I'm
and
saying that what happened to her? Nothing. I could put
nothing.
money
Just to
down
go to
nothing
the
happened to
grand
her.
jury and say nothing happened. So I'm out of lawyer fees. Not just me. There was some other people around that was involved too. Other men. Out of money, time, energy, and we stressed.
And nothing happened to her. And that's what I'm
Nothing.
saying. That's what I'm saying. We can't say I feel like this when it comes down to rape or something. I understand maybe
Mm-hmm.
feeling a certain way, and you don't want to put that out there. It's a touchy feeling. Molestation. This stuff is a touchy feeling. I understand. But to bring the shit up 30 years later, 40 years later, You see what I'm saying? That's some bullshit. And for all these women to be claiming that, oh, this was done to me or that was done to me, later on, years pass by. I'm talking
They play
about,
victim.
right. But it's a payout for them.
Mm-hmm.
And then we got to prove, regardless, if we're proven to be not guilty and we didn't do anything,
Yeah.
or we did do something, it's gonna have that negative, nasty tasting stain that's gonna always
Mm-hmm.
be there. And
Yeah.
our reputation is thrown out the window. What is the consequence for people that accuse innocent people of rape?
Listen,
Nothing happens to them.
nothing happens. But if there was a consequence, I guarantee no woman would ever say that they was right. If there was a consequence for them not, hey, I win, you lose. Not no, you know, I win and nothing happened and you don't lose. No, because if you win, I'm punished. No, now I win, you're punished. That's how that scenario needs to be.
But you know what? What's funny? America and the way it is, it's not going to allow that to happen. Is because we've already put that. I'm sorry. When it comes down to females, it's never their fault. Oh, he took advantage of me of my vulnerable in my vulnerable state. But you slept with him, yeah. Yeah, but I wasn't in my right mind. Oh, um, I didn't pay this bill because uh somebody messed with my paycheck. It's always someone else. Never holding accountability for any action. And America has adopted this. We've
Hmm.
allowed females to have this unconditional pass. That doesn't happen with us men. So I'm
No.
tired of the feminists. I'm tired of the, oh, I'm independent, but you're still depending on a man. You
Or a
still have
system that's made for you.
right. You're right. You're right. And it's like it's rewarding bad behavior from women.
Hey, I
Believe
got
me,
some
us.
bad,
Go ahead.
I mean to cut you off. I got some bad text and tweets. So Amanda Seals is not with a white man. So let me clear that up. People are coming at me. So she's not. I'm sorry, Amanda. I see. But you look like you are the type. I'll just get that. But let's continue.
Yeah, but we've been adopting bad behavior for women from women for a while, and it's rewarded. And now we're seeing where a lot of men are seeing that it's no need to even commit and be married to a woman because everything is against them
Yeah,
from the laws.
everything.
Yeah. What is the benefit? It seemed like a lose 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 situation if I sign and
Yeah.
say I do.
What's the point of a marriage? You know,
Hey, hey, hey,
you, you
please,
may take it
please
all.
enlighten me. Enlighten me.
If I mess up, you go take it
Pretty much.
all that
And
I
then what do I get
established.
out of it? Then what do I get out of it? I've lost everything, and I'm tired. I hear this a lot, and I don't care. I'm ranting. I'm tired of hearing, well, do you love me? Love doesn't equivalate to funds. And if that's
Mm-mm.
the case, then are you a prostitute? Are you the prostitute and I'm the John? So we can't have it double sided. We can't have it, these double standards, you know, period. We can't have it both ways.
Mm-mm.
So I'm just tired of that, man. I'm tired of all of that. And that's why a lot of dudes is playing in the field and they're not committing. And
Yeah.
why would you? That's a bad investment.
Wait, you know what? I didn't even think about it. We just gave the double standard. our argument of the because women always say, "Hey, it's a double standard. You guys can do that, can do this, can do that." We just gave our alternative to the double standard.
Pretty much. Pretty
'Cause-
much.
So, ladies, that's the double standard for men. All the things that we just mentioned. If
Pretty
you wanted
much.
to know, I just thought about it. That was our art to the double standard. They always say you can do this, you can do that. The Me Too thing. No, we got a side
Mm,
too.
right. And,
We got a
and
side too.
you know what's crazy too, though. But like we were speaking about earlier, Fleet, that well, I want a man that makes the same amount as me, and he's successful, and he's this, and he's that.
Hmm.
Well, systematically, with I want to call it gender affirmative action in a way.
Yeah.
You're
Uh,
taking up the jobs, and males are pushed out of the
mhm.
work areas. You see it.
Yeah.
You see a lot of in offices. It's a bunch of women,
Hmm.
and guess what? They're not working. They're not. You know, I'm not gonna say all, but I'm gonna just say majority. They're not
Hmm.
working. They're playing around. They're socializing. They're causing drama. They're doing everything under the sun besides taking care of business.
Hmm.
In the companies that I'm sorry, these key holders and business owners and entrepreneurs are hiring them to to look good and say, "Hey, we're all equal."
Hmm.
Business go under due to employees, mostly women, playing around. But then you guys get this big pay,
Nah, I
and you
disagree
want
with
to
that because women they take their job serious. You try to get a woman to push your light bill out 2 extra days, boy. That's not gonna happen. That's
I
not gonna
understand.
happen.
No, but I understand.
It-
I hear what you're saying. But I'm just saying that you can't ask for I want a man to have this and that and this and that, but majority
and then
is more
complain about
women
the
than
time.
men. Right.
Because so if we do work hard just to you know, make some change, make another life have to change, you're not home. We don't spend any time with each other. This or that. It's always something in there. It's always
Yeah.
something in here.
Yeah. And then you know what I usually this is what I'm seeing a lot, and I was speaking to my barber about this. So we always hearing, oh, there's no good men out there. There's no men because I need a man that has this and has that. And we're speaking about it now. You how are you going to find certain men like that? And the men that are like that, believe me, are not. We're not trying to have just because you have a good job or whatnot that you're suitable, that you're
Oh yeah,
qualified
yeah.
to fuck
For the
with
simple,
us. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying?
For the simple fact that a woman can put her little costume on, get yelled at, screamed at, argue with, and just take that shit. And I ain't gonna say take it. Just smile and grin and be happy, but come home and unleash all that pain on the kids, the man home at home, on all of them, on whoever's there. Well, for the man's perspective, you releasing this off on me. No, you need to the same face you put on then, put the same face on when you greet me, because I had a long day. I don't got time to argue about what you went through. The argument should have been there. Leave your. This why I say you're not supposed to bring your work home. Then don't bring the argument home, or don't bring that stress that was there home. Leave that shit there. Don't take it out on us, men. That's respecting your man and respecting your household. Because these women nowadays, they taking it out on the kids too,
Oh
because
yeah,
they
the
had a
kids
bad
are
day at
punch a
work.
bag. The kids are punch a bag, and then you got to realize mentally, psychologically, what that does to a growing child. Now that child grows up to be an adult. And believe me, with the way the world is now, to take in that extra trauma that's inflicted on someone that supposedly love you. They love you. Mommy
Mm-hmm.
love me. A messed up child. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
A messed up child. So that's why we have a lot of adults running around today with issues.
Mm.
They think love is a bunch of arguing and controversy and drama and all the extras that come with it.
Uh-huh.
You know, and man, I'm gonna just say this: what man really wants to stay in that type of environment, raise his kids, deal with you for the rest of your life? That
Listen.
man is heading for the hills, dude. He on the first thing smoking.
Well, let's be honest. That man ain't leaving because he's not an alpha male. A real alpha male will pick his shit up and go. Let him know, hey, I'm leaving. I don't like this shit, and I'm out. Because nowadays, just be honest, nowadays women are still doing the breakups. It's not too many men saying, you know, I'm done, I'm fed up, and I'm gone, unless you cheated on you or something. But if it's even that, I can't even say just she cheated because she can be emotionally abusing you, coming in from taking that stress out on you. That's abuse still, and it's right. Look it up in any therapy book, DSM-5, whatever you want to do. That's still abuse. And if a real alpha male don't like it, he get up and go. But
No,
we know
I
that's
agree
not
with you on
happening.
that.
We know that's not
I
happening.
agree. No, but it's very few, and you want to know exactly why it's not happening. This is just my theory. It's been a lot of men that weren't in the home. Like I didn't have my pops in the home with me, like
Mm-hmm.
so many other friends of mine didn't. And the person that was raising us was either big mama, your mother, your auntie. It was
Mm-hmm.
majority really just women. It wasn't men around. So
Yeah.
you're bred, you're groomed to deal and see that type of madness and subconsciously think that it's okay. Because this is how you were grown. You grew up around this shit. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So you grow
Mm-hmm.
up as an adult, and your point of reference on a male, a man, and how he deals with certain situations is absent.
Yeah. It's like we're programmed. We're
Right.
programmed.
But when do we open
And
our eyes? When it's too late, though, Fleet.
yeah, it's
When
too
it's
late
too
because
late.
the people gotta understand from
When
the
you go through
age
your marriage and
zero
the
to
kids and
seven,
yeah.
from the age 0 to 7 are the programming years for a child. That dictates what they're going to do, be, everything. That dictates how that child's going to respond for the rest of his life. I ain't gonna say the rest of his life if he does some deep programming, breaking away, some solitude, meditations going within his own mind and does some work. Yes, he can break free, but you know, a lot of men won't. They won't unless you are, working towards that alpha male status, and but a lot of men won't. It's deep programming. Because when you think about it, your mother, don't do this, don't do that, or any parent, don't do this, don't do that. Fear, using fear mechanisms. So now we prone, oh man, I can't do this. Oh, this shit scares me. Oh, this don't do that. It's like, have you seen like we got kids? No, I don't like that. Little sucker, you ain't even try this yet. How you know you don't like it? So that programming, man,
But
and
you
we
know
just
what?
stay in the box.
I'm in agreement with you. I'm in agreement with you on that. And you got to realize You never wanted your mama mad at you
No, no, you
or
don't.
having that feeling of your mama leaving you. So
Mm-hmm.
I know that that pours over if you been groomed that way. It pours over to when you get older. When you're
Mm-hmm.
young, naive, ain't really been through. I don't want Keisha to leave me, baby. Don't leave. And that's that sympatry.
Mm-hmm.
That's that but you don't know is because this is all you do know. This is
Mm-hmm.
all you do know. So when we end up finding out the truth, the common behavior that we find in majority of the women that we encounter when
Mm-hmm.
we've been through a divorce or have had kids and had to deal with this immature, irrational behavior of women, we go through it, and that's when our eyes open up. But it's then too late.
Yep.
It's too late by then. I will say this though, with straight up talk, what we try to bring, we're not trying to change people's minds, but we just want everyone to think. That's the purpose. That's the purpose of our show is we just want people to think about certain things that's going on.
Yes. That's what we push. It's I know we have our opinions and our sides to it, but it does not have to be your truth. You have a side. Just weigh out the information. It's a scale. Weigh the information, then choose. That's what we suffer from nowadays. I talked about the programming. You know, certain things dictated, but you're not dictating. You know, don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. See which information you like. Discard the rest. But in between that, you're weighing the information. You have your scales, and you'd able to say, I could take this out. I don't agree with this, and then you put your own spin to it and incorporate these things into your life. And with the saying, man, that's straight up. I'm still bumping out to this Kanye and Lil Pump.
Hey, I ain't gonna lie, man. It's a hit and it's going, but you know what? I will, like I said, Kanye is a genius, and he knows that he was a man. You know what I'm saying? He still is,
Uh-huh.
but he haven't brought out any major heat recently. Since the college dropout days, and he knows where the flame is at.
Yeah.
Lil Pump got some flame, so of
Yeah.
course, you link up, and you got an album coming out. You want to still be relevant, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
not gonna lie, Kanye, man. Shout out to the Shy. Kanye is a genius, man. I ain't
Mm-hmm.
never gonna take that away from him. He's a musical genius.
Mm-hmm. Is he an alpha male, even though he kind of on the ill side right now?
I'm gonna be honest
Has
with you. I'm
has
gonna be honest with
some
you. He's
mental
a
issues?
beta. He's a beta male, and this is the reason why I say he's a beta male, man. Yeah, we all got
Mm-hmm.
issues. We all got issues,
Mm-hmm.
but he's the perfect example of his point of reference not being in his life tremendously like his point of reference should have. You see how he's
Yeah,
overly emotional. You see how he
but
just rants off, and how he just he that's feminine. That's almost a feminine type of thing. A woman goes
yes,
off of her emotion and flip out. He's been doing this, man, on that award with Beyonce, and he acts off of his emotions
man, maybe we could talk about
tremendously.
this at another show. But I
Yeah, we
think
got.
that aspect alone, listen, there's a negative side and a positive side of that battery. To be that alpha male, you got to be able to tap into that masculine and that feminine energy, that yin and that yang. Just picture yourself just not expressing your thoughts. Women express their thoughts all the time, but you're the man. If
Right,
you're
but
not
with
able
you,
to get your
but
thought and your words across, then you just not a man. You get stepped over. You get trampled over. So
No,
being
and
that
I agree.
masculine, being that
Yeah, go ahead.
being that full man, you still have to express your emotions. And if a woman doing something you don't like, no, I don't like that shit. So you're just gonna be like, I can't rant and say nothing.
No,
No,
no, no,
that's
no,
you
no.
still have to be that alpha male. You
I
still
agree
got
with you
to
to a certain
express.
point, but you have to be able to control your emotion. That's the difference. That's the difference. You can be emotional, but there's a certain masculine way of being in tune with your emotions. When you're
Mm-hmm.
out of control and you ran and you act off the wall, that's a female trait. There's nothing masculine, there's nothing alpha about that. I'm not saying that you can't feel, because with you not being emotional, you might as well be a robot. That's crazy.
Exactly.
That's asinine. That doesn't make any sense.
Mm-hmm.
But to be in tune with your emotions and being able to control your emotions,
Mm-hmm.
that is masculine. That is man. That
Yeah.
is alpha. And I don't
Mm-hmm.
think he has that.
Okay. That's great. But he surely is tapping into that feminine creativity.
Definitely. Hey, hey, hey. But you know what though? You know what? With that, that's still, with him being able to have the artistic side of music,
Mm-hmm.
that's not feminine, bro. That's not feminine. Think
No.
about all the scientists, the doctors and stuff that we have. Those are men.
Mm-hmm.
The biochemist and all of these scientists, that's men.
Well, that's
So
will, and that's what men do. We will things into existence,
I
and
agree.
he's providing creativity, and from that creativity, whatever he's creating or the idea, he's willing it. So that means he's manifesting it. So, yeah, man, this man, hey, hey, this is a whole nother show topic.
Yeah, we're gonna
Whole
have to
nother
get
show
on that
topic.
on another topic. That'd be a whole another hour, man. We're gonna have to definitely revisit this topic.
Yeah. But yeah, man. Thank you all for tuning in. It's your boy Fleet Jones.
It's your boy Mo Green.
And as we say in Parton, sky's the limit. We're going to continue to go straight up.
Straight up. Later.
Fuck that bitch up out in London. Then I fucked up on a cousin or her sister. I don't know nothing. And my niggas getting ignorant. Like a liar, bitch, we ignorant. All this water on my neck look like I fell when I went fishing. So much diamonds on my bust now. Ooh, fuck. What's the time? Oh, yeah. And smoke, perp, sipping, train. Ooh, fuck. She take lines. You're such a fucking hoe. I love it.